Hello and welcome back to Lynn Lowdown. I'm Danny Vittori, and today we have on two people from the Recovery Exchange to talk about several of their upcoming events. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Great. So first things first, just both introduce yourselves, and also one main big thing we're here to talk about is your first anniversary here in Lynn.
Yes.
So do you want to start, Kim?
So I'm Kim Patterson. I am the program director at the Recovery Exchange.
And I'm Idris Forde. I am a recovery coach intern, and I'm also a peer leader and a member.
Awesome. I like your title. It's fancy.
Yeah, a little something.
Yeah. And so how has your first year been? How has it been going? What would you say are some of the highlights?
The first year has been very, very exciting. I think some of our highlights were really just connecting with the community and connecting with other peer recovery support centers on the Northeast and Boston metro area.
Yes.
So we've gotten together with a couple and done some events and really just building community.
Yeah, you were talking about, I think it was your family fun event. You said that was a big success.
Yes, the Family Fun Day. So we did Family Fun Day last August, and we decided, well, our members voted on doing it again for Recovery Month. So we went for the first week in September, and we wanted to be able to give, well, members wanted to be able to give backpacks. The clothing drive was separate, but it ended up just blending in together, and it just made for a really, really wonderful event.
And I'll ask you about the clothing drive because you were really the one spearheading that. You were even telling me beforehand how successful that was.
Yes. So the clothing drive was initially, we wanted to reach out to like the underprivileged like elementary kids in Lynn, and we have a huge population of, we have a lot of elementary schools in Lynn. So we decided to pick one and see how that works out first. So I reached out to my sister, and she's the vice principal at Hood Elementary, and she plugged me in with the lady Kayla Butt, who runs like all the services for like underprivileged children and like the families. She works with all of them. And we sat down, she gave us like a breakdown on how it all works out. And we started in like May. Like we had the conversation in May, and I just went out to people and just reached out to the community, friends, family, and just asked for support, you know? And people showed up. A lot of people showed up. It was like definitely a village of people that came through for us and supported us for the event, and we were able to support a lot of kids, man. We got like so many outfits for kids, so many pairs of sneakers. It was crazy. Yeah, I loved it.
So the kids were able to come to Family Fun Day, play fun games, have good food, and leave with outfits and a backpack for school to start the school year. So it really ended up making Family Fun Day an even bigger event than it normally would have been. So it was really nice. And just to see the happiness on the children's faces and also on our members, knowing that they took part in making it happen and were able to give back to the community. So.
Yeah, everybody stepped up big, everybody.
Yeah, the joy of being able to give back, right? Knowing you're able to do that. And you mentioned too the members were voting, so is that how the organizations run? Members vote kind of on what?
Yes, so pretty much the members get together. We have a community meeting every Tuesday, and they sit and they decide what they want to see in the upcoming month, what kind of events they want, what kind of activities, and they vote on it. And when it gets voted in, then staff makes sure that it happens.
Okay.
So we basically work for the members, which is good because the members now feel vested in the Recovery Exchange.
Absolutely.
And you mentioned you're both a peer leader, and a member yourself.
Yes.
So how has that system been for you?
So for me, it was awesome because so I actually walked in the doors to be a recovery coach intern, and honestly, I had no idea how the process worked there. I actually got there the first day, which was a community meeting, which was cool. So I got to I sat in on the process right away, and it was like, okay, like this is dope. Like we have the say, and they listen. You know, that's the one thing about recovery that a lot of people get afraid of of like someone taking control of their recovery, you know, and like being able to come to like a center like ours where we give you the control of your recovery. They allow us to map out our plan, and they support us in any way possible that we need to do that, you know?
Yeah.
And it was like super cool. And I just started like showing up. Like I just showed up and I just started raising my hand and being part of whatever I need to be part of. And slowly but surely, I started gaining like, you know, trust from other members. Like asking me to help them and support them, and Kim obviously noticed that, and she, you know, and also like the other staff noticed it, and they voted for me to become a peer leader, which is like also the members do that too. So yeah, it's all member based, and like so we support each other. So it's crazy, yeah. No system like it.
No, I mean, it is. It's a phenomenal system. It really leans into that community aspect of it. You all support each other.
And it leans into people seeking recovery being able to take charge of their lives.
Yes.
And that's always great, because the sooner you feel like you're in control of your life, the better you feel, and the more you want to do the next right thing to continue to grow and have that control, because in substance use, a lot of people lose control of their lives. So we immediately say, this is for you, you're in control, you navigate the ship and tell us which way you want us to steer. And immediately it helps them build some self-esteem and some self-worth.
And they do. They definitely turn around and help other people give back because, as you mentioned, you're also in the middle of another coat drive running through part of this month as well.
Yes, which will be our second coat drive. We did do it last year, and we're hoping that each year we're able to get a little bit bigger and able to get a little more. And our coat drive is more to target the unhoused in the city of Lynn, adults.
Okay.
So we prefer new, but gently used coats, and hats and mittens would be great. And we started collecting already, and we hope to collect through November 15th. And they can drop them off at 35 Exchange Street. We have a box. And then probably on the 21st, when we go out to give the Hope Bags, which is something we do every Tuesday, we go out, we find the encampments of the unhoused adults. We give them information about the center, about recovery, and we also give them like socks and toiletries that they might need, as well as Narcan and testing strips. So if they're not ready to find recovery, they can at least be safe until they're ready.
Yes.
So.
And it sounds like such a great thing the members get involved with, and it's a completely non-judgment free way of offering help, right?
Yes. And changing the stigma.
Exactly, yes.
It's a huge thing.
And I'll ask too, like you said, you have recovery support, but there's so much you do in terms of volunteering opportunities, reaching out to the community, and why is that such a big piece of how the center works?
I believe that it's a really big piece. Is one, a lot of people feel like they've taken from their community and they were left feeling like they had nothing to offer. So now they're able to give back to the community, as well as change the stigma of what a person, if people only see people at their worst when they're on the streets and they're caught up in substance use, and they don't see the other side of that, the recovery people, of which there are thousands and millions of people in recovery. They don't know that, it changes that once an addict, always an addict adage. So you can go from being an addict to being back to being a responsible and productive member of your community. And I believe that substance use is a community disease. Like everyone suffers in the community when we're not addressing substance use. So once we start addressing it, we start helping our community members at their lowest begin to build their lives and find sustainable change.
Absolutely. We've been, the stigma is huge. We actually did, probably at the beginning of the month, we did a table event outside of our center, and we did a voter registration. because like we want people to understand like we have a voice too.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't know that, like they believe that, oh, if you have a felony or if you did this, you can't vote, and no, that's not true. So we actually got about 20 to 25 people to register to vote that day, and they're all part of the recovery community too, all people in recovery community, and that's like what we're trying to do. Like we're trying to like build bridge the gap between not just our community, but other communities, like let them see that, like, yeah, we're here and we're working hard to be like better, and we are better.
And we ask our elected officials to help us to grow the recovery and recovery services. So it's important that if we want them to help us, that we vote and let our voices be heard, so that those willing to help us are elected into office to help make the change in the community. So we have to be part of that change.
Yes, you are part of that change. You're doing phenomenal work over at the Recovery Center. And I do have to wrap up at this point, but I couldn't say it any better myself. So thank you both for coming on today and really sharing some of your experiences.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Of course, anytime. And once again, I'm Danny Vittori. This has been the Lynn Lowdown, and we'll see you next week with more guests.